What's up, kiddos? Trowbro is back with another drawing with Trowbro, and today we're going to be looking at how to make an underwater silhouette. Now, I got the idea for this project from the movie Lion King. At the very beginning of the movie, the sun starts rising and the ground's all black and there's like a single tree that's black. And the reason why they are black is because they're backlit. The sun is coming up from behind them, and so it's lighting up the back of them, but the front creates this shadow. And that shape and that shadow is called a silhouette. When you take a whole shape and you color it all black, that's called silhouette. And I used the inspiration for this movie to do a project with my 4th graders where we do it kind of like Lion King style and they pick an African animal. But I liked it so much that I wanted to do another version of it, but instead of using red, orange, and yellow and making this really hot African style artwork, I wanted to do it underwater. And instead of using hot colors, we use cold colors. So we use green, blue, and purple, and we pick an underwater animal, and it's backlit too, because if you look up from the ground of the ocean, the sunlight is hitting the top of the water, and it creates a silhouette of an underwater animal. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to start off by drawing the little alcove at the bottom of my picture, and this is going to be kind of like an abstract shape, alright? Not very symmetrical. Now, I don't want it to be too like hilly or bumpy, but just very subtle, goes down and then comes back up. Alright, keep it simple. I'm going to add a little piece of coral right here. It makes a really interesting shape that I really like. And it's kind of like 3 little prongs, and each one of the little prongs has a little prong on it. Kind of like hot dog shapes. Not going to try to draw super complicated, keep it simple. Alright, now I'm going to show you a little trick you can do with your Chromebook. In order to draw the animal shape, what you can do is you can Google whatever animal you can think of underwater, a shark, a dolphin, a sea anemone, a jellyfish, and then you type in the word silhouette after it. Now right now it's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to turn off the lights and it'll be easy to trace. Now with my lights off and my brightness setting all the way up, it's very easy to see that dolphin silhouette. Now you got to be careful not to touch your hand to the screen or else it'll zoom in or click something. So what I'm doing is I'm holding my paper with one hand against the black border, and then I'm tracing very carefully without my hand touching the paper at all. Just the tip of the pencil, and I just trace the outline. You don't need to worry about doing any details because the silhouette is all black. Alright, now that I got my dolphin traced, I'm going to start painting. And I'm not going to paint any black yet. What I want to do is I want to paint all of the cold colors. That means green, blue, and then purple. Now it's really important that you get this really wet because green, blue, and purple, they're all kind of neighbors on the color wheel, and blue mixes really good with green. It kind of makes like a blue-green, and blue mixes really well with purple and makes like a bluish purple. And so I'm going to start by putting a lot of water in my little oval, and I'm going to be doing horizontal strokes going left and right. And I keep getting water because I want it to be nice and wet, because if it's still wet, it's going to mix really well with the other colors. And so I'm going to paint like 1/3 of this paper green. So the top third is going to be green. I'm making sure that it's nice and wet. And then when I go to add the blue here in a second, it's going to mix really well. Now you want to avoid making it look like a flag, like a French flag where it's 3 separate colors. What you want is you want the colors to mix, the green and the blue. So once you got a nice horizontal row done, then you need to switch to the other color. So now here comes my blue, and I'm painting it right underneath it. But here in a second, I'm going to start bringing that blue into the green, and then I'm going to get some green and pull it into the blue. Now this takes some time. Now try not to go too fast, because if you are going really fast, sometimes the water can drip, and you might have like a piece of blue drip right in the middle of the green, or even with your black like later on. But you just always want to be careful not to go too fast. I'm starting to take my blue and carry it into the green. Now I'm going to take a little bit of green, put it into the blue, and you get a nice greenish, bluish color. Think like sea green. Oh yeah, this looks nice. Alright, so I'm taking my time, getting a little bit of water, put it in the oval, spin it around. So I'm kind of going back and forth, getting a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, go back and forth. Alright, now it's time to go and get my purple done here, so I'm going to take my blue, carry it down a little bit farther, and I'm just coloring right over the elephant. I'm coloring right over the alcove, alright, because later on I'm going to color all that black, so it doesn't matter, because black's such a dark color that it'll cover right up the green, the blue, and the purple. Alright, so you notice my purple, I'm just coloring right there at the bottom of that U shape. I don't need to color all of it because I am going to be doing it black, so it's not that big of a deal. Making sure that it's nice and wet. And then I can start blending my blue and my purple together. All right, I take a little bit of the blue, come down into the purple, add a little bit of more water, and then I'll take some of the purple and bring it up into the blue. These colors work really well together, and you can already kind of feel the sense of coldness, all right? When you see this picture, and you see the green and the blue and the purple, and you see how they mix, it feels like this picture is cold, even though it's not. It's normal room temperature, but these colors kind of invoke that feeling of coldness. Now that I have all the color done, I gotta wait for this to dry because the black paint will mix, so magically, it's dry. Now, in order to see this dolphin, I'm gonna trace over all of my pencil lines with a black Sharpie. This will help you see what I'm seeing, and I'm carefully tracing it. Now, if you wanted to, you could color this in with the black Sharpie, but it would take a lot longer. It's your choice. Or if you were doing it with markers, you could color it in with a black Crayola marker. That would be fine too. But always do black last because it's the darkest color. Like if I was to mess up with black, it would be kind of hard to undo it. Like if I did like drop some black paint, I could always turn it into another animal. I could make like a small little fish swimming beside the dolphin. And I'm tracing this. I'll speed this up so we can start painting the black. All right, now to paint it black. Now it's really important that I get this black watercolor as dark as I can. So I want to make sure that I'm swirling my brush in that black paint over and over and over again to get it as dark as I can. And then all I got to do is just color in the lines. Like I said, if you accidentally mess up and maybe you're going too fast and a little black drop falls right on your paper, then you can always turn that into another animal. Don't get so upset like when you make a mistake, because sometimes you can kind of change your artwork and maybe even change it for the better. I've seen a lot of kids do that. So don't flip out if you drop any paint. Accidents happen. You'll probably see some mistakes on mine. It's okay. It still looks really good in the end. All right, now let's speed this up and see what it looks like when it's all finished. All right. This looks very atmospheric, very cold, very cool, but very simple. I love it. Well, kiddos, I hope you had fun drawing your underwater silhouette. Make sure you keep practicing and stay tuned for my next drawing with Trowbro.